My dad awakened a legendary beast, the flame feather falcon. My mom got a mythic two-tailed spirit fox. Even the adopted kid living with us awakened an epic unicorn. But me? In a world where everyone's got a beast, I got tested and came up with absolutely nothing. Couldn't even make a contract with a random ant off the street. And while the whole family was busy spoiling that adopted kid Luo Xinyuan, I went ahead and beat his epic unicorn down to near death. Because in my last life, Luo Xinyuan rode the Luo family's favoritism to beat and abuse me. Even my fiancé Liu Ruyan ended up cheating with him. The guy despised me. And in the end, right in front of the whole Luo family, Luo Xinyuan straight up killed me. But instead of punishing him, the Luo family covered it up and tossed my body out into the middle of nowhere to get eaten by wild dogs. When I opened my eyes again and found myself back on the day I got framed, I made up my mind. It's time to settle the score with the Luo family. Then I felt a burning sting on my cheek, and I was genuinely lost for a second. I stared at this all too familiar scene playing out in front of me. Mom, it was Luo Xinglian who stole your underwear. I saw everything. Xinglian, bro, how could you do something like that? She's our mother. Right then, two voices hit my ears at the same time. My head was still a little foggy, but the moment I looked at those familiar faces in front of me, the rage inside me just started burning. Tell Mom the truth. You're the one who took it, aren't you? A beautiful woman was gripping a black bra, eyes locked on me like a hawk. The aggressive tone, the disgusted look in her eyes, everything screamed how much she hated Luo Xinglian. What was wild, though, as her emotions spiked, a ghostly fox with two tails materialized right beside her, baring its teeth straight at me. This woman was my mother, Zhou Yijing, and that fox spirit was her contracted beast, the two-tailed spirit fox. See, this is a world built around beast contracts. Every newborn has a chance to awaken their own companion beast at birth. A companion beast is basically like your soul taking physical form. They can look like literally anything. Feeling like she'd made her point, Zhou Yijing pulled the two-tailed fox back into her beast space. Looking at all this, I wasn't really scared, because I'd already lived through this exact moment once before. Wait, did I actually reincarnate? I can't believe how twisted you've gotten. Running off to sleep in Mom and Dad's bed was already bad enough, but now you're stealing Mom's underwear? You can't even own up to what you did, and you had the nerve to pin it on Xingyuan. We never should have brought your sick, twisted self back home. I looked at the girl going off on me, completely cold. My cheek still stung from the slap. That girl was my second sister, the Luo family's second daughter, Luo Jingyu. She noticed my icy stare and raised her hand to hit me again, but a boy nearby grabbed her arm. Sis, this is my fault. If I hadn't taken the life that was supposed to be Xinglian Bro's, none of this would have happened to him. His act was so convincing that both Zhou Yijing and Luo Jingyu looked genuinely heartbroken. Zhou Yijing pulled him straight into a hug, gently stroking the back of his head and said softly, "You're just too good of a kid, you know that. It hurts my heart. I wish you were actually mine." That seemed to hit something deep in him. He lost control and broke down crying, burying himself in Zhou Yijing's arms and sobbing. This pampered little golden boy was none other than the Luo family's adopted son, Luo Xinyuan. But what none of them knew was that right now, buried in Zhou Yijing's arms, he was wearing the most creepy, sick smile and deeply inhaling her scent. Seeing that confirmed everything for me. I had come back. Nobody else knew the truth, but I did. The one who stole Zhou Yijing's underwear was Luo Xinyuan, the family's beloved little prince. Ever since he was taken in by the Luo family, he'd had this insane, obsessive fixation on Zhou Yijing, way beyond anything normal between a mother and son. This wasn't even the first time he'd pulled this stunt. He'd done it plenty. The difference this time was Zhou Yijing actually noticed a piece was missing. Panicking that she'd trace it back to him, Luo Xinyuan stuffed the underwear into my arms while I stood there completely clueless. Furious, Zhou Yijing had me dragged to the basement and whipped for 3 straight days, and took the beast that was supposed to be mine and gave it to Luo Xinyuan instead. Honestly, looking back, it's almost funny. Whether I explained myself or not, the outcome was always going to be the same. Just then, a servant walked in from outside carrying a leather whip. 2 more moved in to pin me down, but I shook them off. "Don't touch me. You want to hit me? Go ahead. I'm not moving." I pulled open my shirt and showed them the old scars covering my body. Then I looked Zhou Yijing dead in the eyes. "Do it." But right as she was about to beat me half to death, a voice suddenly rang out in my head. Host's intense desire for power detected. Successfully binding the combat evolution system. New player gift pack awarded, Combat Eye, Evolution Stone, and Companion Beast. The Combat Eye can scan all beast info and hidden stats within your field of vision. The Evolution Stone instantly triggers a beast's evolution requirements. In that instant, a red flash lit up in my eyes. I could feel my spirit energy skyrocketing, and my beast affinity pulling itself up from nothing. Beaten, bloody as I was, I couldn't help but crack a slow, deep smile. That smile clearly freaked Zhou Yijing out. She actually stopped mid-swing, because right now, I was giving off a vibe that made people's skin crawl. Then everything spun, scenes kept flashing, and my consciousness got pulled into some kind of special space. A rush of information about the space flooded into my mind. Arrogant space massively increases the host's spirit energy cap and rapidly restores your beast's health and stamina while inside. I was ecstatic. I never imagined I'd ever awaken a companion space of my own, let alone one that could both boost my spirit energy cap and restore my beasts. Because in a beast battle, spirit energy is everything. Every summon, every skill your beast uses, it all drains your spirit energy. The more spirit energy you've got, the longer you can keep fighting. After processing all the info in my head, I quickly noticed something floating right in the center of the space. A pitch black egg covered in scales. Then came a crack, a fissure splitting across the shell, more and more cracks spreading until finally, a tiny little dragon man crawled out. Name, Shadow Dragon. Stage, Juvenile. Bloodline, Arrogance Demon King. Rarity, Competition Tier. Attribute, Dark, Dragon. Talent, Mephisto's Arrogance. Skills, Shadow Fist, Tyrant Kick. Evolution line, Shadow Dragon, Flash. Shadow Dragon, Starfield Demon Dragon, Heaven's Wrath Black Dragon, Supreme Dragon Emperor Mephisto. The system handed me a Competition Tier companion beast. To put that in perspective, beast rarity goes common, uncommon, rare, scarce, epic, legendary, mythic, competition. Competition tier is literally one of a kind. I was staring at this tiny all-black dragon with wide eyes, barely able to breathe, but I quickly got my head straight. As sick as this little dragon was, it was still in its juvenile stage. Given where I was right now, I had to get stronger by any means necessary. No hesitation, I used the evolution stone on Shadow Dragon. A wave of dark energy swallowed it whole. Shadow Dragon's body started shifting under that darkness. When the shadows finally cleared, it was no longer a tiny little thing. It had grown into a nearly 6-foot powerhouse, and 2 small horn-like bumps had emerged on its scale-covered forehead. A brand new stat panel appeared. Ding! Congratulations, host! Shadow Dragon has successfully evolved into Flash Shadow Dragon. Looking at the Flash Shadow Dragon standing before me, I felt something I hadn't in a long time. Luo family, it's time to settle up. The moment my consciousness snapped back from the companion space, a furious roar blasted into my ears. You little animal! A ceramic cup came flying straight at my head. Warm blood started trickling down my face. The man who threw it was the Luo family patriarch. How did I end up with a son like you? Trash is trash. It doesn't matter how much of a head start you get. You'll never shake those low-life habits. I'm leaving the Luo family. One sentence, and every single person in the room looked like they'd just seen a ghost. I reached into my pocket and pulled out a stack of cash. I've been here 3 years. I paid for my own high school tuition, worked for every cent. Add up everything I ate, wore, or used, it comes to exactly $3,420. Not a penny more, not a penny less. Here, we're even. Don't believe me? Go check. See if I'm off by a single dollar. And for the record, I didn't come here by choice. Your people showed up with a paternity test and dragged me here. Doesn't matter anymore, though. Those 3 days in the basement plus the cup you just threw at my head? Consider that us calling it even on the whole raising me thing. The room went dead silent. The Luo patriarch couldn't wrap his head around it. Even as the least favored kid in the house, I was still a Luo. How could 3 years of living expenses only come out to a little over $3,000? And the most unhinged part? I claimed I worked to pay my own tuition. Then where did the tuition money the family put aside for Luo Xinglian go all these years? While everyone was still stuck in their heads, I'd already turned around and headed for the door. Zhou Yajing, who'd been watching coldly the whole time, narrowed her eyes. Stop him. The second she said that, Luo Xinyuan jumped at the chance, darting in front of me to cut me off. Xinglian bro, just listen to mom and go back inside. I didn't say a word, just looked at him and said too, move. Luo Xinyuan kept up the heartbroken face on the outside, but inside he was seething.